You gotta train these men, y'all. Like, I might sound crazy, but sometimes you just gotta whip them back in shape, because men will, if you let them, they'll try to go astray. You gotta be like, we're not doing that. Absolutely not with this one. Maybe in your last relationship, but not this one. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, we're on the road to 1K, so go ahead and join today by clicking that red subscribe button. Today I am doing a video on what to look for in a husband. This is in no particular order, so one is not greater than the other. Friendship is important. I think that a lot of long-lasting relationships begin with friendship. They might quickly turn into a relationship, but that basis of having them as your best friend or your friend is super important, because that's what's gonna like make the love thrive. That's what's gonna keep the love going. You want someone who believes in God. You want to make sure that he gets along with you and your family. This is a hard one. This is a tricky one because it depends on the family dynamic. So like if him and his parents don't necessarily have like the greatest relationship, then that's a little bit hard to say, well, he's a dub because he don't get along with his mom and his dad. We never know what happened during childhood. We don't know what happened, the history behind that. Oh, and he might not even have, his parents might not be together. It's more that goes to it than just like, oh, he don't get along with his family, it's a dub. I'm not saying that. If he values the family and he does, and you see it's like pretty healthy, I think that's a good thing. Like I said, if it's not there, it's not the end of the world. But if it is there, that's a plus sign. And then if he gets along with his own family, but as well as getting along with your family whenever he does meet them, I think that that's a good quality, a good thing to know, because that's a little like, that's less stress on you outside of having to deal with everything else that happens in life, right? Also want to know that you're not afraid to talk about the future with you. So depending on what stage you guys are in knowing each other, relationship, now this is not like what to look for in a guy and you just met him yesterday. Like, no, this is like y'all kind of have some foundation, some relationship, some nature of, whether that's like we're super best friends, we're thinking about leaving the best friend zone, or you know, we're co-workers and we're just like thinking about testing those waters, or we just met a couple months ago and we're just kind of like thinking about diving into that relationship life. I think these are just mostly for that. Once you guys get into the nitty-gritty, I'm not saying like second month you need to be like, so you want to get married or not? I'm not gonna say 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, but when you feel comfortable having that conversation, like we're deep, we're on that level, I feel like we are there, then you see like his head is about like marriage and y'all future together. But if he's kind of like like he like puts off the future talk, and you're like, well, you know, it's been some time now that we've been kind of like basically together, or you know, it's been some time, and he kind of like especially if you like past 25. I don't know about that one, sis. I don't know, I can't tell you to keep that one. I can't. But another thing you want to look for in a guy is like, do you guys balance each other out? And in that aspect, meaning, does he balance out, you know, where you might be weak, he might be stronger in the aspect of, you know, and vice versa. Are you guys on the same page? Another important thing, you want to make sure that this is not somebody that you have to even worry or think twice about infidelity. If that happens, you know, we forgive and forget, but you only got so many times though. Now, I'm not even saying you got one time with me, but I'm just saying I know people, you know, give multiple chances, and it's like, okay, well, this is what happened, bleep, bleep, bloop. And sometimes they move on and life is happy forever. Don't marry somebody and they look like they're taking an interest in other women in a really disrespectful way. Like, because men are gonna look like, they gonna act like they ain't look. Just the other day, y'all, we in the car, we see this older man looking at this girl. To me, she's a girl, but to him, he was like, she not that young, blah blah blah. I'm just like, men, y'all just can't help it, huh? You can't. He tried to act like he was looking. You looking at her. That's it. You gotta train these men, y'all. Like, I might sound crazy, but sometimes you just gotta whip them back in shape, because men will, if you let them, they'll try to go astray. You gotta be like, we're not doing that. Absolutely not with this one. Maybe in your last relationship, but not this one. I, for me personally, look for someone who had a good sense of humor, because I am comical, I would say. So I did want someone who I could like laugh with and joke with, because for me, I would say that's definitely at the top of my list, because I like to have fun and like, of course, like be lighthearted and, you know, just try to look at life as light as possible. I don't try to look at it super, super heavy. So me and Emmanuel are like an amazing match because we both always joking. It's the basis of what keeps our relationship fun and keeps our relationship going. The things that I like to look for in a guy, people have so many different opinions, so many wants, so many different, you know, options or things that they prefer, but this is like just kind of my preference and what I was hoping for. I won't say searching because I wasn't looking for anybody, but like hoping that I would end up with. I also say someone who's like kind-hearted and they don't mind, you know, being like this giving person. This is a big one too. Like, find somebody, make sure that they are ready to compromise, because, and like that doesn't mean be like, I'm just gonna do whatever you tell me to do, or you can just walk all over me. Not in that way, but just somebody who's like, you might say like, I don't really like this, and they're just kind of like, well, I like it and this is the way it's gonna go. No, that makes things so much more complicated. So if it's like, okay, I'm gonna meet you halfway, or this time we'll do my way, this time we'll do it your way, but there has to be some compromise, because that's like rule number 2 in marriage. You also want somebody who's respectful. You want someone who's going to not just treat you with respect, but others with respect. So pay attention to how he treats other people, whether that be his family or strangers, or, you know, anybody that y'all come across. Like, is he calling women out of their name all the time? Is this like the way that he refers to them? Is this like just something common? This is what he really thinks of women? Then you can only imagine what he would think of you or how he would treat you. Someone who is emotionally mature. Now, I will say that as we got in a relationship, we did have to change things. Like, I've changed for the better, he's changed for the better. So there were things that we did come together, and there might have been something about him that I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to tweak that a little bit. And then same thing for me, there were things that he was like, yeah, that might not be the best way. There were things that we have changed, but it wasn't like completely whole new person. Like, I'm still Jasmine, he's still Emmanuel at the end of the day. So another thing is, make sure that he has patience with you, and make sure he has self-control. Self-control is important. It is important because that means that he's mature enough to understand, like, this is the moment to have everything under, you know, under control. You don't feel like at any point in time, I don't know what he's gonna happen, like what's gonna happen. He might get triggered, go off, and now we're in this crazy predicament because he decided to go like wild. You don't want that. You want somebody that's like, okay, I'm gonna breathe. They know how to place that. They're placing that anger in the right place, or they know how to handle it, and that we're all learning to deal with our emotions and things like that. But he's knowing like, okay, it's probably crazy for me to punch the wall in public right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want somebody where you like, oh no, I don't know what's gonna happen in these 5 seconds. They just made him mad. Now I'm gone. Now I'm anxious because what's about to happen. You don't want to feel that or feel that way, you know, where you're like, oh Lord, my man might pop out this gun real quick because he mad. You know, you don't want to go through that. You don't. I think it's a lot of things to consider, like a lot of things to consider when you're looking for a mate. I definitely look for someone who has aspirations and goals as well, because you don't really want to be with someone who's just like, I mean, I'm pretty cool with where I'm at, you know, and you're not. You're like, I kind of see myself being like almost a millionaire, and you are okay with being at 20K a year, or I see myself having kids and you don't want kids. Like, those are the things that, it's a lot of things that people like push to the side before they get married, or just be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, eventually he'll want kids, or eventually he'll want to do this. Eventually, like, because as women, we see the potential in men. No, if that's not what he wants, that's not what he wants. Like, honestly, like, seriously, a man is going to be a man. And like, I also learned that men will change for the person that they love. So when I say change, they will, you know, be like, okay, I know this really hurts her feelings when I don't do this, or I do this. So let me, you know, adjust so that I show her that I really do truly care about her, because I'm gonna make this change in this area. Things that they feel strongly about, they're more than likely not going to change. So like I said, like, if they don't want to travel, they're not going to travel. If they don't want to have kids, they don't want to have kids. You know, the right one person will come along. It's truly a thing of when you know, you know. So I think if you're maybe kind of like apprehensive about it, you just literally feel like you click, you feel like you match, you feel like you see eye to eye, you feel like you can have things that aren't even spoken and you understand what each other might be thinking or feeling. Now this comes over time, obviously. It's not like overnight, you know. Well, we did click really fast, I'm not gonna lie and say that, but we were friends previously. If you found this video helpful, make sure that you comment below and click that subscribe button. If you made it this far, you definitely should be subscribed. Make sure you like it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.